Sweet. All right. So Monday mindset. Let's go. Basically, was thinking a lot about uh, like people that have been successful for a long time. I've been studying a little bit some war stuff. I think it's really interesting. By no means am I a history buff or anything like that. I was never in the military or anything, but I find it really interesting all the battles and everything that you have to go through. So I watched this video. It's called The Art of War and took some notes down. I wanted to share it this morning. So basically, the art of war is to win without bloodshed or the use of force. Obviously, it doesn't happen very often, but that's the goal, right? So we all want to win as business owners. We want our businesses to be successful, right? But the key is to do it with the least amount of stress, turmoil, anxiety, financial hardships. And there's going to be some stuff along the way that happens, and no one's exempt from these things. But at the same time, like the mission or the goal is to do it with the least amount of this stuff, right? Which is why we meet every single week. So we have to focus, right? Because most people are either focused on the battle or the war. And I'm going to explain the difference between both, but rarely are people focused on both. The war is the end result, right? When you declare war on someone, that is what you're trying to finish or you're trying to accomplish overall. The battle are the missions or assignments along the way that we have to take on. So in business, our war is our vision. It's our what. It's what we're trying to accomplish. It's where we want to be. It's the big thing that we're trying to get to. And for all of us, it's to build a successful business that runs, that's fully automated, that makes good profit margins every single year. We all have the same common goals. But the battles are the execution and the how. So how are you going to get to that automated business? How are you going to make your business more profitable? How are you going to get it to run without you, right? So first thing we got to understand is that wars take time. Wars are not won overnight. Just did a quick history check. The Civil War was 4 years. World War I was 4 years. World War II was 6 years. Vietnam was 19 years. And those are just American wars. I'm sure there's other wars that were way longer than that, right? So my point is that some of you guys are trying to win this war of building a successful business that's automated, that runs without you, that's hyper profitable, and you're trying to do it in less than a year. It just doesn't happen, right? I've never met anyone who's built a successful business that was sustainable that did it that quickly. I'm sure it's happened every once in a while, but it takes time. The main point is you got to win it one battle at a time. You got to take every step forward every single day and just keep having those small wins that add up to a big win. So you got to keep the end in mind, which is the war that you're trying to win, but focus on the daily, weekly, and monthly battles that you have to win. All right, so let's get into some practical examples here. Step one, you have to declare war on your enemies, okay? You have to declare that there is a war and that you're willing to fight for it, right? And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, my enemies, like my competition. No, dude, your number one enemy is yourself, okay? This is a war against you and yourself and your legacy, right? You've got to fight your inner demons, your thoughts, your thought process, your anxieties, your fears, the things that are holding you back, your past experiences, because those are the things that you're actually fighting against. It's not your competition. It's not your vendors. It's not your employees. It's against you. So anytime that you're in a battle and you're not where you want to be, you got to start questioning your thought process. Are my thoughts in the right place? If I'm scared of something, why am I afraid of it? Right? If I'm not where I want to be, why am I not where I want to be? Right? Don't make excuses and push it on someone else. Okay? Step two is do not fight what we call the last war. You're always going to be fighting wars, right? So if somebody's like, oh, that hasn't worked in the past. You know, I tried that once. Well, it doesn't mean that it won't work now, right? You have to learn to adapt. So we got someone joining in, Thomas. So you got to learn to adapt. Just because it hasn't worked in the past doesn't mean that it won't work now. Just because it has worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work now, right? There's a reason why we come on and we do these coaching meetings is because we're trying to keep up with the times. We're trying to adapt our business, right? So you never want to get into that mindset of just staying where you're at. You got to keep innovating. So another thing that I put down is you got to stop going through the motions, right? Like so often we're just like, all right, I get up, I go to work, I do this, and then I come home. My job is to push you guys out of your comfort zone and have you do things outside of the box, right? Things that you maybe never thought of before. All right, step 3, amidst the turmoil of events, do not lose the presence of mind. Simple terms, you got to stay alert. When everyone else is panicking, you cannot fear. You can't be intimidated by chaos. You've got to attack opportunities, right? Don't wait until tomorrow. It's so easy to be like, I'll get to that tomorrow. I'll get to that tomorrow. Dude, today is all we have, right? So if there's an opportunity out there, you've got to go after it. I was watching a video yesterday on real estate, and one of the guys I know is buying a mobile home park, or he's looking at buying one. And he dropped everything he was doing on a Sunday, dropped his kids off with his parents. Him and his wife went out and looked at this mobile home park. And he's like, we cannot sit around and wait for weeks or this deal might be gone. We can't wait till Monday, right? We got to go take a look at the deal now. If there's someone that you know out there that needs your services, you've got to jump on it. If there's a rock star employee out there, you've got to jump on it. You've got to hire that person because they're going to get scooped up by someone else, right? And another thing I'm seeing in terms of panic is everyone's like, oh man, I'm going into my slow season. You know, it's like, no, you're not, right? Stop saying that. It's not a slow season. It's a season of opportunity. It's a season for you to regroup in your business. It's a season for you to maybe add another service to your business or pick up a side hustle or start another business that's busy in the winter, right? So always stay alert to that. Step 4, you got to create a sense of urgency and desperation, okay? Like there's the Andy Frisella 0 options mentality, right? Like if this doesn't work, I've got nothing else. And I think so many people are just like, well, if it doesn't work, I'll just go get a job or, you know, I'll just dip into my savings. No, dude, we've got to keep pushing forward, right? You got to get uncomfortable. Every day we got to be doing stuff to get uncomfortable. So stop waiting for the right time to do something. There's no perfect time for it, right? Like, again, today is all we have, so we got to make it count. If there's somebody that you were thinking of calling, call them today, right? Keep pushing forward. So let's summarize this, guys. The couple questions that I want to ask this morning: what war do you want to win, right? What war do you want to win? You got to know what you want. What's your 3 to 5 year goal? What are you really working for right now? Where do you want to be? And then what battles do you have to fight in order to achieve that goal? I was talking to my wife last night and I was like, you know, I'm trying to build legacy up and these other businesses. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care what I have to do. If I have to work 3 times harder than everyone else, I'm going to do it. And so what I mean by that is vision gives pain a purpose, right? So if you're experiencing pain right now because you're getting up early, you're doing things that are difficult, you're grinding through a tough season, if you have a strong vision for it, you're going to keep doing that every single day. And so my vision for this is so strong. My vision for where I want to be in 3 to 5 years is so strong that I'm willing to do whatever I have to do, right? So you got to have your daily, weekly, and monthly targets to hit. You got to have something to aim at. Those are your battles. You got to chip away at those battles in order to win the war, right? My last question is, who's leading you, right? Who's helping keep you accountable to your goals? Who's helping you get that vision? Who's helping you with your mental state? We talk about it all the time, but when you get in a bad mental state, don't talk to other people that are miserable. Don't talk to other people that don't have what you want, right? Like talking to other people who don't have money, and then you call and complain that you don't have money. Misery loves company, right? They're going to tell you that it's okay. They're going to tell you that that's normal. They're going to tell you that we're just going through a hard time right now, and they're going to make all kinds of excuses. Coronavirus and the shutdowns, and no one's making money. They're just going to feed you all this stuff. Now, is some of that stuff a reality? Yeah. But like I talked about on our last call, the economy is not our economy, right? So the circumstances that are happening to the majority of America and maybe even the world might not be happening to us, right? We control ourselves. This is a war on ourselves and our own minds. So keep that in mind every single day. This is about you and your family and your legacy. And the more time and energy that you put on yourself and your legacy, the better it's going to be, right? So we've got to focus on ourselves. That's all I have for this morning, guys. But I hope that helps you guys out. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. But just to summarize, I mean, dude, go out there and start fighting some battles today, right? Like whatever you have on your list that is tough, just start knocking it out. And if you don't have a list of stuff or you're not really sure where to go or what to do, message me and I'll help try to give you a vision and a direction. So go out there and kill it this Monday, and we'll talk next Monday. All right, see you guys.